And we're live. Hi guys. What's your book?
Oh. I don't have mine with me.
Tiffany is in a different area right now, so she doesn't have her book. But this is what the book looks like. So hi guys. Today we're here to discuss The Golden Lily by Richelle Mead. And this book is the second book of the Bloodlines trilogy, which is a spin-off series of Vampire Academy. That whole description is just too long, but I'm very excited to talk about this book with everyone. And of course, real quick, so the introduction. Of course, we're just gonna have like a basic. Why did I repeat that? We're just gonna talk, like, say our name, our YouTube or Instagram, and then is this like your first time reading the book or like a reread? If so, when was the last time you have when was the last time you read the book? And then your thoughts on this book, spoiler free. So Sandy, you can go.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Sandy from the channel Sandy Reads a Lot. This is my second time reading this book. I think the first time I read it.
Did Sandy cut out for you, or is that?
On my back.
You're back. You're back.
Okay. Sorry. I don't know what was the last thing you all heard.
We heard your name. That's it.
Oh, okay. My bad. I'll start over.
Yeah,
I'm Sandy from the channel Sandy Reads a Lot. This is my second time reading The Golden Lily. The first time that I read it was in 2013 or 2014. So it's definitely been a really long time, and I was really excited to read it. Non-spoilery thoughts, I really loved it. I love all the Sidrian moments, and I'm just gonna leave it at there.
Hi, everyone. Oh my god, my voice just cracked. Hi, everyone. I'm Tiffany at Read by Tiffany on Instagram and YouTube. This is probably my fifth time rereading this book. I reread it last year. I read it like basically every year. I have a problem. But of course, 5 stars, loved it. I think this one and Indigo Spell are my two favorites in the entire Bloodline series. But yeah, same thing as Sandy. I like loved all of the Sidrian moments, but also loved like learning more about magic, and also, oh yeah, no spoilers, but like we get more into things.
Yeah. Hi everyone. My name is TRINH. You're on my channel, and well, this is my second time reading this book. My first time was September of 2016. So it's been 5 years, I believe. And I remember my first time reading this book, or like my first time reading the entire series. I binge read the entire thing. So now it's gonna be like much different because like we're reading a book per month. But man, I want to start on the third book so badly. But my thoughts on this book, I love it so much. Like I just had so much fun reading this book because it was so funny. I found myself like just laughing out loud, and then I was very invested in the characters, obviously. And then of course we have like the two main characters who consume my every thought. Like I literally like put so much effort into finding time to read this book because lately I've been so busy, so it's like been hard to read. But I'm just like, no, girl, let's read The Golden Lily a little bit. I remember one time I woke up before my morning shift. I woke up like an hour early. Like I woke up at 7 for no reason, and then I was like, I mean, you have an hour, like you have a few hours left, might as well just read The Golden Lily a little bit. So that's how much I really enjoy it. I would like read it whenever I can. And yeah, I'm very excited to talk about this book. It was so good. Okay. Let me see. Hi Leah. I'm reading VA. Oh, okay. And then I think
It's
this is
a comfort series.
Yeah. I think for Tiffany, the Bloodline series is like your comfort. The VA is just like there.
Yeah, it's just there.
It's just there.
It's like not bad, but it's just not the same.
Yeah, I see that. Like this is the second book, and I'm having like so much fun. And then I think your first time reading this one, yeah. So real quick, if you're not familiar, there is going to be a TV show like adaptation for the Vampire Academy series. Is there one for Bloodlines, or like as of right now, it's just VA?
It's just VA.
It's just VA.
And
Yeah.
I think it's just the first book too.
Oh, it's like the first movie all over again. Why?
But it's like the first book is not that great. It's like good, but it's not that great, and we need to just move it along so we can get to the good stuff.
I know, right? But basically, a couple months ago, it was announced, and then just last month, which is in August, which is like I think last week. Penguin Teen announced the casting of the characters in the Vampire Academy like TV show. So I will provide the link to the Instagram in the chat if you want to like I mean, hopefully it works. Like you can just click on it and then you see the link. If not, then I'm so sorry. But basically, this is on the Penguin Teen Instagram, so you can see the casting. Yeah, it's been announced. So like now we can just like spend 5 minutes talking about the casting.
Wait, I can pull it up.
So I believe
That's Rose.
This is Rose.
Yeah, I'm glad she's a woman of color.
I saw some comments though on like Penguin Teen's Instagram. Some people are really mad. They're
I've
like, this
seen that
casting's not what I
too.
expected. I'm not watching. I was like, dang. I mean, like, part of me is like, oh, I wish Rose could have been like a Turkish character because that's what she is in the book. But I don't think this is like a bad like alternative.
Yeah, and then also real quick, the Instagram, the post that Penguin Team put up, they disabled the comments. So
I think it's because the comments were so bad.
dang, yeah. I mean that sucks, but at the same time, I'm not gonna be super mad. Just like I'm more like not worried, but like I care more about the acting and like the tone of the TV show, and if the actors and actresses can like deliver and like do a good job portraying the characters. Like that's what I'm more worried about. But I mean, like I'm not too mad about the casting. Mostly, I don't know any of these people. That's the thing. They're like
yeah, same here. I haven't seen any of them act in anything, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how they portray each of their characters in the show, and definitely open to giving them a chance. And we haven't seen the show yet, so we just gotta wait and see what's to come.
Yeah,
I'm looking at this.
Christian. There was a comment about Christian. I'm excited. Asian Christian.
Christian's Asian. Literally, I'm so excited because I didn't. Here's the thing. I looked at the post of the casting, and then I just move on because I was like, okay, cool. I mean, I'm glad we had the casting, but like, I think I was so busy when like it was announced. I just didn't have time to just like sit and like look at everyone's Instagram and find out who's who. So like, literally, just like 10 minutes ago, Sandy told me that the Asian guy is Christian, and I was so excited.
Wait, okay. One thing I'm confused on. Who's Meredith?
She's a Dampier, remember? She's like one of the side Dampier characters in Rose's class. She's like mentioned every now and then, but she's like a pretty minor character. So I'm surprised that they actually casted a Meredith.
Yeah, I was like,
Dang.
I don't even remember this name.
Yeah. And then like so like we have almost everyone except Adrian.
Yeah.
Who's Meredith? Yeah, exactly. Like that's why
honestly though, this was the same thing with the movie. I was like, we just need to get a second movie so they can redeem themselves.
Yeah,
and then put Adrian in there.
You go ahead. I
was gonna say I never thought I would be like a simp for Adrian.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, for Mia's character, they're actually making her the sister of Sonia.
What?
So she'll be Mia Karp.
Oh.
I don't know how that's gonna play out in the storyline, but that's what I read.
I like how you're more kept up than us.
I know, I'm like very impressed. I need this tea. My hope is that if it's like even as remotely as successful as Shadowhunters were, and Shadowhunters was not good, in my opinion, I think we can get a second season.
I'm hopeful.
Also because Julie Plec is such a big name.
I had no idea who she is, but you know what? But that's I was like, oh, deja vu, because like the Shadowhunters, like we have the first movie, then like a couple of years later we get a TV show, and then they age up the characters. So like I wonder if with these characters in VA, I wonder like if they're gonna be aged up a little bit. Who knows?
I hope they don't make Dimitri that older.
Yeah, maybe age down.
Age him down,
yeah. Down and then age Rose up.
Yeah.
Make her 15 straight up. Just make her a legal person, and then we're fine. Because like honestly, like the biggest issue, obviously, like in the books, like for me, is she was 17.
Yeah, I agree.
24. Like she was straight up not an adult, you know. Wow, I haven't talked about Rose in a while, so I'm just like, damn, it's been a while. But yeah, I mean, like those are our thoughts on the casting. So far, so good. Hopefully, there's more, but I don't know. Like I don't know what's next, to be honest. Like, are they gonna start filming like immediately, and then hopefully, we'll get the show by next year? I think.
Hopefully.
I mean, that'd be nice. I think this will be on Peacock TV. Yeah. I
gotta add another subscription.
I know. I'm so annoyed by that.
I've heard though that Peacock is like free with ads.
Oh, okay. I can handle ads.
me see. Lissa looks absolutely perfect too, but I just want like content to get a feel, even though yeah. So
Yeah, I think Lissa looks a lot closer to what I imagined than in the movie.
yeah, and I wonder if like what the actress would look like with like blonde hair too, because like I think in the book like doesn't like Lissa has like pretty blonde hair. Is it short?
Yeah, I think
I
so.
don't remember, but I
She's
just
just like angelic.
yeah, she's like the princess, so like she has to look the part too. Like she looks like regal, so that can be fun. So curious to see Dimitri with long hair. I I hope they make Rose like 21ish. Yeah, I need them to age up. I don't know how this will go because it's like the whole point of like the academy is that they're still in school. You know,
It
like
could be a college setting.
It could be college. If it were college, I think it would work really well.
Mhm.
because honestly, I think at this point, I've noticed this is that like since we're getting older, I don't have like the same love and passion for like YA books anymore. Because like the characters are like they're teenagers and they're young and they're going through stuff that I already went through that I don't need to recap. I don't need to read about this. So like now I kind of want to read books where or like see TV shows or movies where like the characters are a little bit older. You know, like
Mhm.
need something that'd be nice, but if not, then that's fine. I don't know, but I do make college setting is good. I like that idea way more than high school, to be honest. Okay, I think that's about it for like our brief discussion on the casting thing. I mean, like this will be fun. Like hopefully, like we have more information because then like we can always just have like a 5 minute session where we gossip about like the casting and the show and that fun stuff. So now, folks, we're going to talk about the Golden Lily. Is this book right here? So if you have not read this book, then please leave and read this book. It's so good. It's so wonderful. But if you have read this book, then please stay so we can talk about everything. I'm literally so excited. Like the moment I finish this, I'm just like, dude, I need the live show to be here so I can just scream and just talk about Sidrian.
They're
Okay.
just so healthy and so wonderful. Also, like the writing is just so funny in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Leave if you have not read leave if you have not read the book. Okay. So now we're just gonna talk about this book. All right, folks. I mean, like I have like a list of things we can talk about. I guess like we can just start at the beginning of this book. So like the very first chapter, we see Keith um losing his shit basically. And I wanted to I guess I want to talk about that just because like it was honestly kind of rough to watch because now here's the thing. I have so many bad feelings with the alchemist because like from the very first book when we learned that there is a re-education center, I'm just like, oh my god, no. No. No, because look at history, look at like the events that have re-education center, it just never ends well. And then like knowing that it's like a normal thing with the alchemist in a way, like if you're like bad or naughty or if you make some kind of mistakes, then you're being sent there. So like I, was anyone talking?
No, you're good. You're good. Keep going.
Because so like in the very first chapter we see Keith like he's been there for a little bit, and then we see Sydney kind of like she's like the person who can decide his fate for like the next few years. So I want to ask like what was your like I guess like thoughts on like reading the first book? Did you feel bad for Keith? Did you not like feel bad for him? Was there like and then like the guy who wants to be Strigoi, I think it was like a
Yeah.
human guy,
Mhm.
Mr. Goy. That whole we can just talk about the first chapter. So like, what did you guys think?
I think what really stuck out was when Sydney was just, I think she was like giving her testimony of what she was thinking. Like, and she kept saying, like, oh yeah, Keith is like a terrible person, just point blank. He's a liar, he's manipulative, he's like toxic AF, but he doesn't hate vampires. And then the dad is like, oh, thank you, Sydney, thank you so much. So the idea that just like he can be the worst person in the world, but it's the fact that he just doesn't like vampires that is what will save him.
Yeah, that was so alarming. I'm just like, no offense, but your son has done some really horrible stuff to Carly, and like that was like my biggest issue with him. So it's like it's just like the fact that like they're like, you know what? Even though he sucks and he has done so many horrible things that affect so many other people, at least he's not like what you call it. He doesn't have any relations to the vampires. And I'm like, okay. What about you, Sandy? What did you think?
Yeah, I really don't like Keith, so I don't have that much sympathy towards him. But I also like how Richelle Mead is like also pretty discreet about what the re-education center entails. Like we
Mhm.
hear about it all the time, but we don't really get the details of what that's like.
Yeah.
Um, and like the fact that Keith was like so scared about being
Well,
sent to that, and his dad was so scared about Keith being
yeah.
sent to that too. It's like it says a lot about what the alchemists do to, you know,
He was
alchemists that have gone off
yeah.
the rails.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I just like, yeah, I don't really have any sympathy towards him, but excited to kind of, well, not excited, but interested in seeing more about what the re-education center is going to be like.
Yeah, same. Like I'm pretty I'm pretty sure the re-education center was like introduced in the very first book in Bloodlines because I remember within like the first chapter, Sydney was like, "Oh my god, are they going to send me there?" Because like I think like every alchemist has that fear,
Mhm.
especially Sydney, because like now she has relations to vampires, like she's friends with them. Like even if you're just friends with them, they see it as like a threat, and then they probably just take you out and then send you there. So that's like really scary to me. It's just like the thought of it is so scary, and the way Sydney talks about it makes it like really scary. Obviously, like I'm terrified of it. And then also, like I said, history. Like we've seen like history events where re-education center was like involved, and it's just never ever good.
Mhm.
And like the fact that it's in this book, or like it's the fact that the alchemist thinks it's okay to do that kind of thing. Like I don't know, it's just it's off. It's off-putting, like it really is. And let me see. The alchemists are less cool than I expected. They're more creepy than cool. Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
it's like a cult. I think I'm pretty sure in this book, Sydney talks about how like there was a guy Marcus who like escaped, and she was like so shocked by that because it's like when
You
you're an
don't leave the alchemist.
yeah, like you don't leave it. So I'm just like, okay, so it's a cult. So like I'm kind of scared for you, girl, because like you're an alchemist. However, again, you have relations to vampires. She's like friends. And you know, she has a vampire who loves her, but we can talk about that later. But yeah, I was terrified by the first chapter. So like we can talk about Brayden. That's his name. Brayden.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yes.
oh no, I'm one of those people who's like
I
I
can't
love
remember
that.
his
I love how
name.
everyone just does not know what his name is.
like
Wait,
there's
can
a
we
part
wait?
yeah, you go.
Can we say how it was so funny though? Like when Trey was introducing the idea of Brayden to Sydney, he was like, "Hey, like, are you dating anyone right now?" She's like, "Are you asking me out?" And he's like, "No, no, no." Like I just love the whole Trey and Sydney
Mhm.
friendship.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, I really like him too. But I was gonna say, like, I think in this book we get a scene where Jill straight up admits that, oh, it's because we don't remember his name. I was like, damn girl, you're like you couldn't let her know, but in a gentle way. But yeah, here's the thing. Within the first 100 pages, I was just like having so much fun, mostly because like she like Sydney was trying to like go on a date with Brayden, but she doesn't know anything about dating or like going on a date. And like everyone in this book is like involved in her romance with this guy. It's so funny. But I think I texted the group chat about that. I was like, bro, this is so funny to me. But and then yeah, so like I think personally I was kind of like giddy about like her going on like a date with Brayden, even though I don't care about him and I don't ship them together or whatever. But it's more of the thought of like Sydney just being like a normal teenage girl, just like
I
dating.
love that for her though.
Yeah, I love that too because I'm just like, I mean, you never have experience, and now here's your chance just to like see see what it's about, even though the relationship didn't even work out at all. But still, I was just like, within the first 100 pages, I was just like, oh my God, look at Sydney going on a date and just like talking about this with her friends. It's just so wholesome and cute. So, like, I really like that. What did you guys think?
I highlighted a line where they're like picking out outfits for Sydney, and then she like shows them the outfit. And I think someone, I don't know if it was like Kristen or like Julie, like one of her friends was like, I think it's more of a shirt that says, I'm gonna have to end this date early so I can prepare my PowerPoint presentation. And I was like, all of these lines are just so good.
Yeah. Let me see.
I
Leah
think for
said,
me, I
yeah.
was just like very sus about Brayden. Like for some reason, I always feel like whenever we're introduced to a new character, I'm like, okay, there's something, you know, off about this character and I need to figure out why because I didn't remember Brayden. And I knew it wasn't gonna work out between them, but I was just like, is he gonna be like evil or something? I don't know. But I think like overall, I just thought Brayden was okay. Like, yeah, it was nice seeing Sydney go on dates and everything, but Brayden was just kind of annoying sometimes.
I get that, to be honest.
Yes, God, he was boring.
Yeah, it's just like there were like a few moments where I was just like, you shouldn't have said that. Like him not hyping Sydney up when she's wearing that dress. What's that about? He said
Like
it's
historically inaccurate.
yeah.
But also Adrian's reaction to Sydney's
Oh,
dress.
oh my god. I was so happy. Like he was so speechless. And then should we talk about this now? Like real quick, at the end of that chapter, he says you're like the most beautiful creature walking on this earth.
I love him.
So and then also like I find it funny. This happens a lot. Sydney would be like, yeah, like Brandon, he smells like coffee. Her love of coffee, like it's so funny to me because like he works in a coffee shop, so he smells like coffee, and she happens to like that. And then at the end of this book, when like he's breaking up with her, he makes her a cup of coffee, and she was so excited for the coffee.
Oh yeah, she was like, I was more excited to see the coffee than to see him.
I was laughing so hard. I was like, dang girl. I mean, like now that they're broken up, she can't like get that free coffee anymore, but like she'll be fine, you know. She even oh yeah, and then like a few times in this book, whenever they kiss, she always says that is like not boring,
But
but
she doesn't feel like sparks or anything. She doesn't have feelings. Yeah.
she said it's underwhelming a few times.
Mhm.
I was like,
I remember when Jill was talking about her kissing Mika, and then Sydney was all like, "Oh, is it like kissing your brother or something like that?"
She was like, what?
What?
But then it was like such a stark contrast because I think Adrian and Sydney kiss at the very end, right? And she's like, oh my god, fireworks. And I was like, yes!
Yeah.
I also thought it was really cute. I think I know this book way too well, but like that there was this one scene where like Brayden gets her flowers and it was like purple versus like pink or something like that. And he was like, you just don't seem like a purple person. But Adrian's like the one who sees like the purple in her aura.
yeah.
And I was like, these little things.
Oh wow, I didn't see that. Wow.
Yeah, I missed that, but wow.
You really do know this book inside and
out. It's actually so bad. I like looked on Goodreads like how often I read it. I read it like 2021, like now. I read it twice last year apparently, and then I read it in 2019, and I read it in 2018. I have a problem.
like every single year for like the next few years. Honestly, I can definitely see you rereading this series like the moment this year ends. You just like, you know what, I mean, just read this again for fun.
It's just it's so cute. It's so comforting.
It really is. Honestly, yeah, like this is just the second book, but I'm like, dude, like the vibe is just so different, and I really like the characters and stuff like that. So yeah, that's Brayden. I mean, like he's fine, but like I don't care about him. He was boring. I
just like that he was there to create drama.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just like that he was there to create drama and to like make Adrian more jealous.
Yeah, and then we can talk about Nathan. I kid you not, I wrote down Nathan. I was like, who's Nathan? And I just
who is?
I was just like, wait, who's Nathan?
Sorry, Adrian's father. And everything.
Oh, okay.
He's terrible.
Nathan. I don't even know how I remember his first name like that, but like the father of Adrian, yeah. Wow. Real quick, everyone here has daddy issues. Like everyone.
Yes, that's what I'm
I find it so funny because I'm like, ooh. No, but like Sydney has daddy issues. Adrian has daddy issues. Jill has daddy issues. There we go.
Oh yeah, Jill has daddy issues.
I was honestly thinking like I'm not gonna lie, even though we've seen Eddie quite a few times, like, you know, for like the past few months, you know, in like different books, I feel like we don't know much about him regarding like his upbringing or like his family or that stuff. Cause like we know so much about like family stuff when it comes to the other characters, but with Eddie, I really don't know much. Maybe like there were some mentions about like his family, but I don't know why, but I really cannot remember like his family life and stuff like that. So like, does anyone remember anything about Eddie? I feel bad. I love him so much.
It's just the only thing I think we talk about his family is just like his background of him being a Dampier, and it's just he's not worthy to
Oh, yeah.
be around Jill. That's it, I think.
He's not like worried to date her or whatever. I'm like, sir. We can talk about that later. Like Joe and that drama, Joe, Eddie, Angeline. Oh my god, that could be a whole different thing. Sorry, let me acknowledge. Let me see. Yeah. Yeah, it's just fun to be honest, because like with each book, there's always some new drama or like new problems, obviously. But at the same time, it's just nice to see like the main characters just doing mundane things, like seeing Sydney going to the coffee shop a lot. Like me too. Like me
And
too.
like being in classes and
Yeah, going to classes. Oh, classes.
and the dance.
We can talk about the dance later.
Wait, let's go back to talking about Adrian's
Nathan.
dad. Okay, there was one thing I wanted to like bring up. So this was like obviously I have a problem, right? As you've established. I remember like after I read this book or after I read the series, I was on Tumblr for a long time, and this was like I can't share the entire like thing, but this is like from Tumblr.
Yeah.
Oh my god, there's too many words. I can't send it.
Are you gonna put
But it was just like pointing out like the moment where after they come back, because she sees that Adrian is just so sad and like upset about what happened with his dad, that she like as she's driving by, she like stops by the slushy place and gets like the cherry slushies for him, even though like it's pretty well established that Sydney has like body image and like body image issues and like eating disorder type of things. And it was just like so touching to me, in my opinion. I was like, I love this.
Yeah, I think at the end of that chapter too, she like there's a few paragraphs where she was like freaking out about the sugar intake, but then at the end she says, I mean, like it makes him happy even just for a little bit. Like I'm glad I did that. I was like, ma'am, why are you doing this to me? This shit is so cute. But yeah, Nathan's an ass. Adrian's dad, like he's an asshole, to be honest. Like I couldn't really believe what I was reading. Like it's just like this is so sad, but like we talk about this, people having such low opinions on Adrian that they just let him do whatever he wants. Like if he does something, you're just like, I mean, that's just Adrian. Even his dad, like I don't know, it's just like it hits a little bit different when like your own parent have such low opinions on you, and they express it in like a very chill way, because like the way he just talks about his son like that in front of Sydney too, I was just like, sir, this is so awkward. This is like really really awkward, mostly because it's in public. You're like putting out so much baggage in front of another person as well. I don't know, it was just weird. And then the way he orders the food like that, he's just like, I know this is good, don't worry. So like, what you guys think about Nathan? That's his first name.
Don't like him.
Just asshole.
Yeah, I don't like him. Asshole.
And then I believe, I could be wrong, Adrian's mom, she's in jail.
She's in prison because she was the one who framed Rose. No. It was just that whole weird thing with like,
the alibi thing.
Yeah, the alibi thing with like Rose and Tasha.
Okay, and then also like she stole the document from the alchemist as well, like regarding spirit. That was
yes.
Oh, my goodness. Let me see. I don't understand the opinion people have on Adrian. He knows people so well, and yet no one knows him. Oh, don't say it like that. And no one knows him. But that hurt my feelings a little bit. Yeah, I get that, to be honest. But then like I think it's because like the way he acts around people when like he's with other people, obviously, like he's just constantly drinking and he just says whatever he wants. I think he's like really just deflecting, because so then like we don't know much about him unless like you really like hang out with him and get close to him. But yeah, I don't like Nathan. I mean, I'm glad that he gave Adrian like money
to buy a car.
We can talk about the car later too.
we can talk about the car. We can talk about the self-defense classes.
Oh, the self-defense classes. Okay, there's just so much. You know what? F it. Let's talk about Adrian.
I'm gonna start just throwing quotes that I highlighted into the chat.
Oh, that okay. There's so much. Okay, where should we start? There's so much. So first, let's talk about the dance. Oh my God, he dropped his cigarette or whatever. And then he's just so speechless. And then they have that moment. She was about to give him the necklace as well. I was like, wait, the necklace?
Yeah.
Yeah, like she was like willing to give to him, but he's like, no, it's okay. And then like he calls her fucking beautiful. I was like, oh, okay, let me cry. So there's that. Does anyone have any not objections, but comments about that scene? Like, I will say it sucks that she keeps leaving Brayden behind, but at the same time, like there's Adrian, and I love them way more. Oh man, it was so good. And then like the self-defense class, he cannot touch her because like
He gets the feels. Too much feelings.
Yo, that part where Sydney like hugs him from behind and he's just so shocked. And I'm just like, I didn't remember that.
It's like so at first, like Sydney's progress with like vampires.
Like
but
she
then
did
also
yeah, she just did it, didn't think about it. And even like Adrian made the comment being like, wow, I'm kind of surprised you were able to touch me that easily. And I was like, damn, you're so right though. Like the way she just hugged you like that, oh my goodness. And then like he quits though because like he couldn't take it anymore. But anyway. And then okay.
Also like Wolf is just so hilarious. Like
I wonder if we're gonna see more of him, to be honest.
You will.
Okay, I don't know. I think he's just there. Because whenever I read the scenes of like the self-defense class, I'm so focused on Adrian and Sydney that I barely pay attention to Wolf. Okay, and then now the car. The car. Oh my god! Did anyone freak out?
Okay. I just like love how Sydney's just like so into coffee, so into cars, and that he like knows it and he like gets the car just to impress her. I just think it's so cute.
Yeah, like that whole scene where like she's shocked by the car, like the first time she sees it, it is just so funny to me. And then like he kind of baits her into like teaching him how to drive.
I think Eddie was there too. He's like, I can teach you, but then Adrian just ignores him.
He just ignored him, just looked straight at Sydney. He was like, I mean, like, if you want to teach me, then okay. I was like, oh, stop. This is
And
so
then
cute. Yeah.
There's just so many cute moments because I think Eddie was like, what is that color? And then both of them say
Like
sunshine
springtime yellow.
Yeah,
something like
springtime
that,
yellow.
Yeah.
And then Eddie's like, why'd you get that color? And then Adrian just like, it matches my living room. And I was like, I love him so much.
Yeah. Honestly, I looked up the car on Google because I'm just like, what does it look like? I mean, like, it's not my kind of car, you know, it's not like something that I want. But like, I don't know why, but I can see Adrian driving it. I really can. But oh yeah, real quick, I forgot to talk about this. So like 5 years ago, back in 2016, that's like around the time when around the time where I started to annotate books. I thought that the very first book that I annotated was The Indigo Spell, but it's actually this book because I was reading it physically, you know, like last month, and then there were some parts where like, how old was I? My 18-year-old self were just like, first of all, the line was not even straight. It's just wiggly because I did it freehand. And then there's so many moments where I put a heart next to it. And then there's like a few times where I said, damn, I need an Adrian in my life. Or like, oh my God, Sydney and Adrian. Like this is back in 2016, like those little comments. Now reading it again is so funny to me because I'm like, oh girl, you this is nothing. But it's kind of wild how like back in 2016, I was literally in love with Sidrian, but I guess like so much time has passed. I completely forgot about like my feelings on this book and then like the main couple. But now reading this again, I'm just like, damn, like it's back.
It's all back.
It's all back.
So
like,
good.
Let me see. She just said, yeah, Sydney, yeah, I see it. To be honest. Oh, yeah. Oh, Sidrian. Oh, can we talk about the ending? Can we just? At this point, I'm just like, let's just talk about Sidrian now because I cannot wait anymore. But I want to ask for like the people who read this book for the first time. Oh yeah, the people who have read this book for the first time, were you like, wait, I think Adrian is lying about like not being able to drive the car? Or were you like, oh, so Adrian really cannot drive the car? And then, yeah, like, what's your whole opinion on that? Mostly because, like, now that I've reread this, it's kind of obvious that he lied. He lied about not driving. Like, he lied about
there are like a lot of hints.
Not being able to drive the car. And then also at the end, when she just asked him, like, I think she asked him like how can you drive the car, something like that. So like that whole lie is a like it came out at the end. But yeah, there were so many like hints. Like literally the first time she sees the car, she she left her purse on the grass. I was like, girl, you do shit like this. But she came back to it and the car disappeared. And Jill was nervous. Jill was like, he just moved it to like the other side of the building. Like there were so many like moments where I'm just like, yeah, he can definitely drive the car.
And then she's like quizzing him, and he has like random answers sometimes, or like he answers really well, and other times he gets like the most basic thing wrong.
And then like obviously like that whole factory scene, it's not a factory but like the arena, and then like he drove her back to Clarence house. So I like right there, I think was why was that I think when at that point of the book, like the main character is in danger. So like I feel like the first time I read it, it didn't really hit me that Adrian is driving the car and he's able to drive it well. Like not until like the very last chapter when Sydney was like, hey, how did you learn to drive the car? And then like his smile just dropped. It says so, like his smile just vanished, and he's like, shit, she caught me in my lie. Oh, that's so funny. And then they kiss.
But also like his confession, he's just like, wait, let me read it. It was like, you asked about Rose. I tried to be a better person for her, but it was to impress her, to get her to want me. But when I'm around you, I want to be better because, well, it feels right, because I want to, because you make me want to become something greater than myself. I was like,
wait, I think there's also another line that I really love. I think it's like he's talking about how, okay, this is on page 416. This is about how like him explaining why he quits the self-defense class. He says it was agonizing because it meant something to me and I knew it meant nothing to you. I was like, bro,
the yearning in this book.
It's so good. Does anyone have any thoughts or comments on Sidri?
I mean, also like the fact that he
Too
pretended to like not know how to drive the car in the first place was just to spend more time with Sydney. Like that in general was just like so sweet.
I know, like it's lying, but I was like, but just attention, just get attention, like so cute. Oh my god! But I think it's
how like,
oh yeah, you go, Tiffany.
Oh no, I was gonna say like how in Kindle you can like see popular highlights. So it was like one of the first ones was, sorry, this is kind of irrelevant, but still Sidrian, like when Sonia was asking Sydney if she could like donate her blood, and then Adrian like is like, don't like push her on this, like he like stands up for her and is like the only one to stand up for her.
Yeah, it was like within like the first 100 pages, they were in his house, and then like he just stood up, and everyone's like shocked because like it was like the first time our characters have seen. Oh, sorry, our first time our characters have seen Adrian mad, because usually he's so chill and he's like easygoing or that stuff. But I was gonna say, I think it's wild how Sydney on the day that she breaks up with the other guy, she gets to kiss another guy. But I'm like, you know what, you go, girl. Like, I mean, fuck Brayden, no offense. I think honestly, I was okay. I guess we can talk about Brayden real quick. Like, I think this is my last final note. If I were in his position, I wouldn't. Yeah, I would break up with my others with the other person as well if they keep ditching me.
Yeah,
You ditch him a lot. I mean, like there's good reasons, like because like we read from her point of view, so obviously we understand why she has to leave the date, but she leaves him a lot. And she doesn't have her phone for 3 days, and she's like, "Oh, sorry."
It's also really, because I think this is another scene where it's like she's like, oh, I'll be like 5 minutes late, and then she texts like, just kidding, make that 15. JK, just kidding, 30. JK, you know what, you should just go home. Like that, for me, it would be like really annoying. Like, sorry, there's another funny line. There's so many funny lines where like Brayden texts her, he's like, that only leaves an hour left for the textile museum, and the agent's like, well, that's like not enough, that's too much time or something like that.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's so good. Okay, so I guess like to go along with like Adrian like becoming infatuated with Sydney, we can also like talk about the scenes where Joe who is
Yeah.
connected to Adrian through spirit. She the way she compliments Sydney is so good. So funny. So I want to ask, like, 'cause I think she compliments Sydney like 3 different times, 2 or 3 different times.
Mhm.
Are there any lines that like that you're like, yeah, that shit's funny? Because there's some
Yeah,
good.
I have them highlighted, girl. I have to find it so many. Oh, it was like, you look really pretty today, Sydney. The way the light hits you, it's kind of amazing.
Yeah, there's that one. Oh yeah, this one is on page 349. The way those layers are styled, they perfectly complement your face. I was like, oh my god, I think that
Like,
one
I love how like Sydney's like a big sister to Jill, but also that's just so funny.
is so good. Oh, there's another one. Oh my goodness, I hope I can find it. But I think Eddie was there too. Like they're at the library, and then it was like Jill was like, "Oh, I'm." She, I think she was just doing this, like just like doing this, and then Sydney was like, "What are you doing?" And then she was like, "Oh, I'm just admiring how great you look in taupe."
And so-
I was like, "That's so cute." Why can't I find the part? Oh my goodness, it's just there's so many good lines. And then like I think the last one was like the way what you call it, Jill talks about Sydney, like how, oh, right here. Okay, so the on page 292, that's like the comment about taupe, the color taupe. Page 293. So so like Jill's looking at her, and then Jill says, Adrian had a great time with you at your class tonight. And Sydney was like, yeah, you're right. And then Jill says, no, he really did. He loves that you love the car more than he does and thinks it's awesome. You're getting so good in your self-defense class. Not that that's a surprise. You're always so good at everything. And you don't even realize it. You don't even realize half the things you do. Like how you watch out for others and never even think about yourself. Like that whole monologue. It's so funny. Oh my god. This is genuinely like one the part. Sorry, when it comes to this book, I remember that. I remember Jill complimenting Sydney, but in like a funny way, just because she's connected to Adrian and he's like falling in love with her. So in a way, like Jill's like, I will say
It's like the residual effect of Adrian's feelings just kind of like
yeah.
lingering into Jill.
but at the same time in VA, I guess when Lissa is like falling in love with Christian.
Yeah, I feel like we don't see that a lot in the bond between Lissa and Rose, but we definitely see it with Adrian and Jill.
I mean, I know,
Maybe it's because like Rose is just so much more like hard-headed.
yeah.
Just like,
Maybe,
ew,
yeah.
Christian.
I was gonna say it's like it's either like there's something that we don't know when it comes to like this kind of spirit bond, or Richelle Mead put this in here just to make it funny. I mean, it works because I find
It works.
it is so funny to me. But those are some good scenes. Like just like the compliments is so funny.
Wait,
Yeah.
speaking of funny, let's talk about Angeline.
Oh my god.
She's so funny because I think one of my favorite scenes that I remembered like all the time when I first read this book was like in the beginning, Angeline like punches out like a motivational speaker, right? Or someone like singing a song.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, I think during the actual fight with the warriors or the vampire hunters, there's a quote, it's like Angeline quickly knocked him out as though he were a motivational speaker.
Oh my god. And then also I think I actually like underlined or like marked the paragraph, but I think it's so badass how like, okay, so Angeline gets in trouble, and then like they're trying to expel her, and then Sydney comes in and she decides to become a lawyer all of a sudden, being like, but here's the thing, that guy was like 30. Angeline is a minor, and the way he grabs her, and then her just being uncomfortable, like obviously she said no, but the guy ignores her and that stuff. Like there's like some technicality to it, and I was just like, oh, damn, what a bad
And he's
bitch.
such a badass.
What a bad bitch.
But I think there's also a line in there that was like, I read your student handbook, and then like as the part next to it was like, it's because I was double checking to see if Miss Turweiler was doing like what she was making me do was legal.
That was funny. Yeah. But I was gonna say, yeah, like I guess when like we read that scene where like we have like the group of people coming in and they were like performing songs, I had no idea they were literally adults, like at least 30. I don't, because like I feel like Zine didn't really clarify the age until like she was talking to the principal and was like, I mean, that guy's 30 and he grabs a minor like that. Like, I don't know, it looked pretty bad on you because you're the school and you hired a band or that stuff. I was like, oh, she got a good point. Let me see. Are just so much fun to read and so oh yeah, oh my goodness. This is just a second book and I'm already having so much fun. Imagine that would have happened to Rose and Christian. Yeah. Oh, no. Wait, that would be so funny.
No, but instead you have like her being kind of traumatized. Well, I think
No.
I think Jill's also kind of traumatized when like Adrian was like sleeping around, but I think like Rose also was traumatized because she could like get pulled in when Lissa and Christian are going at it.
I know. And honestly, maybe I guess like it didn't happen with Rose, Lissa, and Christian because maybe Rose hated Christian like towards the beginning of their relationship. Like she really did not like him. But then in here, like Joe doesn't hate Sydney at all, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's why. I don't know. I guess we can quickly talk about this. Leah. Wait, are we done talking about Angeline? I mean, like she's.
Do you want to talk about the vampire hunters?
Oh yeah.
Yes, please.
Did anyone who was like reading this for the first time, like, was that a surprise to anyone?
Yeah, and the fact that they exist, and the fact
that Trey was one of them,
the vampire hunter. There were hints definitely. Like I picked up on it. Like his comment about Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I will say this is again my fault. I think when I was reading Bloodlines, you know, for July, I believe, I was like, "Who's Trey?" And I decided to look him up on Wiki, and then yeah. Long story short, I spoiled myself. When it comes to I know.
This is like the second time.
With these books, yeah, but like in my lifetime, not really. Often I would be like, oh, I don't remember this person, and they're looking up, and then I would read about like their life, and I'm like, oh my god, you dumb bitch, why'd you do this? So that happened with Trey. I literally looked him up, and I was like, and it says he's a vampire hunter. I was like, oh, so Clarence is right, because I'm just like, are they real? I don't even know. So yeah, my dumbass spoiled myself. But anyway, so in this book, I was like, I wonder if Trey's gonna like, oh, sorry, like, are we gonna find out about Trey being a vampire hunter? And we do. And yeah, like, I don't know what I will say. Their comment about like going after the Moroi after this, I was like, don't touch the Moroi, kill the Strigoi. I mean, if you can.
Or even the Dampiers, like they were willing to like wipe them out too after they're done with the Strigois.
But it's also like I thought it was not funny, but it was like them thinking that they captured Sonia, who like actually was Strigoi.
I know,
like,
right?
She's literally an innocent woman.
Yeah.
I was like, I think like a few, even Sydney was like, you catching a Strigoi, really? Like that's possible? I was like, that's literally impossible. Cause we're familiar with Strigoi and how strong they are. I'm like, there's no way. Like the way they're like so tough about it and they brag about it, be like, we caught Strigoi. I'm like, no, you didn't. I mean, you're kind of close, but like you really didn't.
Ooh, Sarah had a good comment. I definitely think so. That makes a lot of sense. Like Jill's more susceptible because the bond is newer.
Yeah, makes sense.
Right, because like with Rose and Alyssa, it's been like 2 years.
Like 2 years. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Okay. I'm glad that there's an explanation because I really thought Richelle Mead put those things in to make it funny. There was, yeah,
like in every belief system, there are some pretty extreme people.
Yeah, but yeah, it's interesting to learn that like the vampire hunters used to be with the alchemists, but then things differ, so like they went their separate ways. But I believe like the vampire hunters, they want to work with the alchemists again. Just that
yeah, because they want more modern tech.
Yeah, I get that.
I remember, like Sydney's like, there's a pamphlet, but they spelled a word wrong.
Yeah. Oh my god, that whole part was like really stressful, to be honest. Like her going into it blindly, like with literally like a blindfold. I feel bad for Trey because like
they got
kicked out. Outcasted. Yeah, him and his dad. Yeah, his dad who like dedicated his whole life to that. I felt bad.
Yeah, I mean, I like Trey. I will say,
I knew we could trust Trey.
Like he's so funny, but then just that he's so chill. I like his friendship with Sydney because it's nice to see that like I feel like just really no romance whatsoever. But it's just like a nice platonic.
It's like her and Eddie too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. Her and Eddie are wonderful together too because Eddie's always nice. He's
I
chilling.
love how she gives like Eddie like love advice.
But she has no romance whatsoever. I mean, like she does in a way right now. Adrian.
Wait, let's talk. Wait, I don't know
yeah.
if it's on your list, but like Sydney using magic.
Yeah. Which scenes? Everything's
Well, we
It
can
was like
talk
she
about the
needed.
scene where, yeah, she was like with her teacher and Adrian was there and they were creating that
yeah, like
that
that.
And
thing.
there's another
Yeah.
line there where Adrian's like, "Oh, if you're like if it's uncomfortable, like or like he's like say the word and we can leave." But then afterwards, she's like, "I want to leave," and he was like, "No, that was before. It was because it was like against your belief system. Now we've already crossed the line. Now it's just like pessimism. So you have to." And then he's also like friendly with Mr. Weiler, and he's
He was
like,
calling her Jackie by her first name.
"So cute."
Funny. Oh, I love them. Oh my god. Honestly, it's been like so. It's been a while since I read a book where like I really love the main couple. And I also like talk about this, but like because so there's a part in the book where Sydney mentions that she wants to be an architect, something like that, or like she's interested in like architecture, and I was like, I've read this before. A blonde girl who has like things that she has to do, but she also wants to be like an architect or like she's interested in architecture. And then I was like, wait a minute, Sydney is Annabeth Chase. Adrian is literally Percy Jackson. And that's why I love this couple so much. Literally. I see it. And I feel like I sent this post to you guys on Instagram. I think I mentioned like, oh yeah, this is literally Sydney and Adrian. I think it was from Tingle. I could be wrong. But oh, I just love them so much. Oh my god. And like Tiffany, I understand now. Like as I was reading,
Right?
I was like, I get it, Tiffany. I do. Because when I was reading VA, I was like, I don't really like Adrian because he's an asshole here. But now that like he's one of the main characters, he's pretty great. And he's really great.
Yeah.
Wait, actually,
Honestly, like
I was gonna ask, are they your favorite couple of all time or something like that?
yeah, like them and Percabeth are like my top two. Like
Okay, so
Annabeth and Sydney legit are like who I have aspired to be when I was like in high school and middle school. Like
yeah.
I tried to wear like khakis and like plain clothing to be like Sydney and to like drink coffee and have that aesthetic.
Okay. Do you still have that, you think?
No, I can't drink. I mean, like she is who I aspire to be in terms of like intelligence and everything and like belief system. But I think I was like, I'm trying to get into cars. I cannot get into cars.
Oh my god, you actually tried to get into cars.
I was
Because
like, ooh, I want to understand cars. I want to understand architecture. And like I appreciate architecture. So like that is kind of there. But
cars, you're like, no.
cars, I was like, okay, no, this is not happening.
You see. Do you guys prefer Eddie and Angeline or Eddie and Joe? You're fine, Leah. I don't know. With this romance, I don't know. It was a little bit because it's like the side romance, it's like kind of complicated. I think I like Eddie and Joe, but at the same time, I feel like we don't get a lot of romantic scenes between the two of them because like it's always like brotherly and sisterly because they're literally they're like pretending to be brothers and sisters in here. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Which ship do you ship?
I would also say Eddie and Jill because I like how their kind of romance is kind of coming together with Sydney's kind of involvement in it. So like clearly like after Jill and Mika broke up, it's like Jill's starting to realize like, oh, Eddie's such a nice guy. But then at that point, like we have Eddie have been simping for Jill for the past 2 books. So now he asked Angelina out on a date. So like, until that, whether that, works out for him and Angeline, then we'll see where that goes. But I just kind of like this like back and forth that they're having right now. And I'm excited to see that kind of play out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree.
It's like watching a soap drama. Soap drama? Like soap? You get it, but like, yeah, it's just so complicated. And
Ooh,
I
I
don't know.
agree. Dimitri comment.
You see. Yeah. Long hair, classic books obsession. That's so funny. Yeah. But here's my thing. This man messed up twice as a guardian. Twice.
When?
Like letting Sonia get captured and like,
Oh,
emailing
yeah.
that, yeah.
Because he was talking on the phone. I was like,
Oh, like,
With
yeah.
Rose.
But he saved them.
Yeah.
yay. But at the same time, it's one of those things where it's like this could have been literally avoided if he just like follows behind them. But I think like he just stays in one spot, he talks on the phone, and then like the two woman, Sonia's a woman, the two women just like walk away. But I was flabbergasted. I was like, oh my God, I could not believe. Like we have Sydney and Sonia being attacked like this, and Dimitri just happens to not be there. I mean, he saves them, yeah, but still, like it's literally a situation that could have been avoided. And then another thing, this one is not his fault, but at the same time, I'm just like, wow, this again, Sonia being captured, because like she got captured, she got captured by the vampire hunters, and I was like. It's like, where's Dimitri? I thought he was her guardian temporarily. You know, it's one of those things. So that's why I couldn't help but be like, I cannot believe this man who's a god in like the guardian business messed up twice in this book. I mean, like, I'm not gonna hold a grudge against him, but I couldn't help but be like, oh my God, I'm shocked. So
Wait, but also in that scene, just like that one tangent of how there was Clarence actually had a car. So Adrian didn't need to take the bus. But then also, like, it was just like one of those little things where it's like Adrian knows Sydney so well. Like the second she walks in, she like notices the car outside, and he like tells her it's Clarence's. He's like, "What?" She's like, "Oh, I knew you're probably thinking about it."
Oh, I just love it so much. Oh my God. Let me see. Leah asks, what did you think about Angelina not dressing according to the school rules? I mean, I don't blame her.
That's funny.
Yeah, I don't blame her for not knowing what the hell she's doing. Like, I think Sydney makes a good point too. Like, Angelina acts all tough and stuff, but she was probably very overwhelmed by like the difference in culture.
Yeah. She's coming from like two very different environments. So
Mhm. And then like just a few. Didn't she like punch someone too, or is that a thing? I know she punched.
yeah, that was a yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think she got in trouble a lot, like talking back to teachers and stuff like that. I think it's just because like she's trying to act tough and like be like, you know what, I know what I'm doing, but like she was probably like
The emails and her caps lock.
It's so good, yeah. Like that joke about it in the beginning. Oh, so good. Let me see. Also, one of those teachers calling Sydney Miss Melbourne. Oh yeah, Miss Melbourne.
Yeah.
How do you say her name? Terwilliger?
I say Terweiler, but it could be completely wrong.
She's the witch. She witch.
Mhm.
Okay, wizard. I don't even know. There's so many terms for like people who do magic. But okay, so we talk about Trey, Dimitri, Angeline. Let's talk about Leah, who's the fashion designer.
She's just sus.
Annoying.
She's so pushy. And then like going behind Sydney's back and doing that photo shoot with Jill. I didn't like that.
Yeah. Mostly because like Sydney made it abundantly clear that like this is not negotiable at all. And it's kind of wild. Like Leah keeps coming back. When she finds Sydney at the Halloween shop and just like, you know what, I'll make the costumes. I was like, that's sus. Mostly because it's one of those things I view it as like, oh, if I were to make you costumes and I send to you and you can have it, that means like you have to do a favor for me, that kind of thing. And I was like, I just did not like that. But yeah, like I wonder how that will play out because at the end, Jill showed the magazine where I think her face is on it. It's either on the magazine or like inside the magazine on one of the pages.
She's like wearing sunglasses, I think.
Yeah, but like Sydney says that like even if you don't know anything about Moroi, if you happen to know what to look in the picture, you can definitely identify this person is a Moroi, which is bad because she was supposed to be like be a secret, like she's not supposed to be well known. So like yeah, Leah's annoying. Like that fashion design. Sorry, not you, Leah. We have another person named Leah, but I'm talking about like Leah in the book. She's just straight up just like annoying. But that's just like my opinion. Let me see, Leah. Another Leah says, I was a bit mad about the dress code because Yeah, because I believe there's a part where Joe or like Angeline, which she was telling like Sydney that Joe gave her a tank top, but since their bodies are completely different, a regular tank top would look like decent on Joe, but on Angeline it looks a little bit different, you know, because she has curves. I was like, oh, Dad, oh, girl, I know. I went to middle school. I went to a public school. Like, don't like we know, but yeah, it sucks. Like, cause like you know, like it's actually an issue how like in public schools or like in many schools it's always like, oh my god, cover your body parts because like the boys all of stuff. Teach the boys not to look at us. I don't know. I mean, that's my whole spiel. Yeah, the Leah. Okay, so we're like wrapping up a little bit. We talk about Adrian, yes.
We
Let
talk so much about Sidrian.
it all out. Like, cause it's literally like the last thing on the list. But I was like, we talk about it. Like, there were so many scenes, so many good ones. Cannot wait to read the Indigo Spell. I was gonna ask, what is like a scene like for like the people who reads this book for like the second time or third time or sixth time? What is like a scene that you just completely forgot, and when you reread this book, you're like shocked about it?
I think I was just surprised that Sonia got captured and that they were going to like try to kill her with all the vampire hunter stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What about you, Tiffany?
I think it was probably one of like the little scenes where like I never noticed how much like Sydney cared for Adrian in terms of like this was like a very specific scene where um I think Sydney was just like telling Sonia about how she views Adrian and how like people like either disregard him or whatever, but like she thinks he's fully capable. Like I don't think I ever picked up on that before as like intensely as I did this time around.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for me, it's actually the same thing with Sandy. I really did not remember like Sonia being captured and like the vampire hunters being like the antagonist in this book. And like the whole battle scene, I was just like, what is going on? But you know, I'm glad it happened in a way because then like Adrian drives Sydney home in his car, and then his lie got busted. So but then, like, there were some moments that I definitely remember, like Jill complimenting Sydney. I remember that, and I was so excited to read those things again. And another thing that I guess I'm shocked that we still have not seen Carly, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
I really remember having a scene where Sydney talks to Carly. I just don't remember which book. I really thought it would be the first book. So like, imagine my horror, not horror, but like when I finished Bloodlines, I was just like, oh, Carly's not in this. And because I really thought that she was going to be in the very first book. But Tiffany, which book will she appear in?
Also, don't forget about the little sister.
Oh, yeah. We get more of them next book.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Golden Lily and Indigo Spell are probably like my like rank 1 and 2 in Bloodlines.
Oh, okay. Wait, which one's number 1? Like the Golden Lily?
I think it depends on like what you're looking for. But like they're both good. Maybe Indigo Spell is my number 1, and then Golden Lily's like close number 2. Oh, and then everything else is like good. But I just think like the pining of like the beginning of a relationship is always like the cutest part.
Because it's like, oh, just get together already. But like, I guess you guys are stubborn. Okay, and then last but not least, what is like your favorite scene of this book?
I think one of my favorite scenes is when Sydney and Adrian were escaping that arena, and Sydney does a spell that stops everyone's from like being like very disoriented, and then she's like helping Adrian get over the fence, and Adrian's legs aren't like working properly, so she's like, all right, just drop your legs down. He just completely falls down. He's like, okay, well that works too.
Yeah, that's a really
wait. I love that.
Wait, there are so many good scenes. I just realized now because like those are like just like the little moments that happen in this book, obviously. So I didn't write it down on my list, but I definitely remember that scene.
Yeah. No, same. Like I love like all the little like quirky and like punny one-liners. Like it's like for sure the one where Angeline's like she knocked him out like he was a motivational speaker. Like that one is one that's like ingrained in my mind.
Yeah. I think my favorite, honestly, it's some like Sidrian moments. It's probably like I think her like teaching Adrian about the car, that was funny. Or like the scene, just me spewing out all of their scenes, or like the scene where like she's in her pretty dress and then they're at his apartment and he's like going through it. And I think they were holding hands at one point.
Wait, okay, I have two favorite scenes. I can pinpoint them. I think it was like when after she sees him, because when he talks about her in the dress, he's like drunk, right? And then she's like, "Oh, Adrian," and he like says some quotes like, "Oh, if your eyes were closed, you wouldn't know the difference between like sleeping and waking,
Yeah.
sleeping and dreaming," something like that, right? And then she's like trying to ground him, and when she gives him that cross, like that's one of my favorite scenes.
Yeah.
But then another one that like we didn't talk about, but is like tied into it, is just the whole like cherry slushy one, but also when he like gives her that pomegranate gelato at the end.
Yeah.
And he's like, he like calls her out and he's like, oh, you're never gonna have like the body type of Jill, like, but like it's just not genetically possible. Like, why can't you see that like you're beautiful? And I'm like, I love those.
Do we have time? I completely forgot about that scene, but like it's just like I don't know how I feel about the way Adrian calls her out like that when it comes to her eating disorder. Because like the thing is, like some people get really defensive if you were to be like, oh, you have an eating disorder, because like they're just gonna shut down and they're like in denial. So I don't know how I feel about Adrian just like calling how it is, because like some people can view that scene being like, oh, he's being very honest, but then there are some people who are like, he's kind of a dick for saying that, to be honest, because that's very blunt.
Yeah, it's like very in your face.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think, okay, one of the reasons why I like really, really love this book when I was younger is because like I was going through something similar to Sydney and I like empathized a lot with her. And I think if someone said that to me the way Adrian said it to me, I would have been really like hurt by it. But because you're reading it in a book and you're reading about someone like coming to terms with it themselves, that's kind of very eye-opening from like my perspective as I'm reading it, because I personally was not internalizing that I was going through something similar until I saw it on page. So that's something like I really liked about, like I totally agree if someone said that to me, I'd be like, what the fuck? But because I'm reading it, I'm like, oh wow, like you know what, like Adrian is right, Sydney, you should be like treating yourself better, you shouldn't be so harsh on yourself, like those types of thoughts.
I get that, to be honest. Like I guess like a real quick trigger warning for like eating disorder and just like food habits and all that stuff. There was like a few, like I think one scene where like Sydney talks about she starts to like to really think about her intake of sugar and just like anything that like just makes you gain weight or whatever. I was like, fuck, that's me right now. Just because like real quick, I have a cholesterol problem. Yes, I had to take daily medication. So like with that, I also had to exercise like 5 times a week. And then I really had to like watch what I eat. And I'm not gonna like, it's been hard for like the past couple of months. Like at times I feel like I did a good job. However, if I don't work out, if I miss a workout a day for like this certain day, I feel extremely guilty. Even just having like a Starbucks Frappuccino, like again, like just extremely guilty. So it's like, it's really hard because it's like from me, like it's one of those things where it's like I have to do these things because like it's literally, it benefits me in the long run because like of my health. Like I honestly need to work out a lot and I have to take like cholesterol medication. I have to watch what I eat because I have a cholesterol problem. But on the other hand, it just like triggers all of like my bad habits with food and with like your thoughts on food and all that stuff again. That now it's just like that cycle, and just like seeing like that paragraph from Sydney's perspective, I'm just like, girl, I feel you. Like it's exhausting to just stress about what you're eating, you know? So like it was just a lot. And then also like my I guess my opinion on the scene where Adrian calls her out, it was mean. To be honest, I was like, oh, you're hitting her in her weak spot. You're literally like looking at a wound, to be honest. But I don't know if what he says to her at the end of this book will, will make her change her ways in the later books. I honestly don't remember and don't know. But here's the thing. I do hope Sydney will no longer have those toxic habits because they are bad. Like her wanting to look like Moroi, basically, by starving herself. That's not the way to go. I was gonna choke my. That's not the way to go at all. Okay. And also my favorite scene is Jill complimenting Sydney. There we go.
Yes.
Those scenes. Okay, it's 3:09. It's been at least an hour. So thank you so much to everyone for like joining us. And oh yeah, it's tough. It sucks so bad. Yeah. So real quick, if you're going through it, like if you have similar issues with sanity, like just take it easy, okay? Like I have to remind myself too, like it's okay to have a cookie. It's okay to miss a day of workout. You can always do it another day. Like it's literally just okay. Okay. So take it day by day. Don't be so harsh on
Yeah.
yourself. Yeah, that's my advice. Okay. That is it. We will post the information for the Indigo Spell live show on Twitter this upcoming week. But I'm very, very excited for the third book. Oh my god, guys, we're almost coming to an end with this series.
We're
Yeah.
almost halfway there.
Honestly, yeah, I'm very, very excited for the Indigo Spell because of where things left off in this book. Oh, more Cedric. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. So I hope you guys have a great day or a night. Goodbye, 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 everyone. Thank you so much, Sandy and Tiffany, for joining us, and thank you to everyone for joining us as always. Thank you. Goodbye.